Hello again, everyone. I'm Gary Gotts. Welcome to Race First coverage of Round 10 of the 4D RACEWEAR Saturday. Gosh, my tongue is already tied. This is not a good sign, Antonio. It's not a good sign. Saturday IndyCar Open Series Strength of Field race for Season 1 of 2024 coming to you from the high concrete banks of Nashville Super Speedway, which we'll talk about a lot today because it's going to be back on the NTT IndyCar schedule. Yay! But back from assignment from last week. You missed a heck of a good one last week, my friend, but good to have you back. Is Antonio Estrada, is my teammate and a regular participant in the IndyFix series, all the way from Mexico City. He's back, and first of all, what'd you think of last week's race, if you got a chance to see it, and then what do you think of today? I don't know, but this racetrack just doesn't really put on a whole bunch of good racing, really.
Yeah, hey, Gary. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I got a chance to watch the replay of the race. I sure did miss a really, really good one. But we're back, and we're at Nashville, which, it's a really, really cool track. I really enjoy driving it. But, yeah, it typically doesn't, set itself to be side-by-side or a super exciting race itself because the track is very, very challenging. You need to be able to make sure that you keep your tires under your car, because there's going to be a lot of tire wear, and things change over the course of a run. So it's really a driver's track where you have to go and drive against it as much as you also have to drive against your opponents. So it's a little weird in that way because this particular oval is tough in that sense. So we'll see how it goes. Historically, it doesn't, again, it led itself to side-by-side racing like all the time, but, running at night, that also helps a lot. But I think we still gonna see a lot of tire degradation.
Yeah, 2:12 left to play in qualifications. Bruteau on the provisional pole with a would-be in a real world a new track record of 206.759 miles per hour. The current real world track record set by Helio Castroneves, four-time Indy 500 winner. In 2008, when the IndyCar Series visited here from 2001 to 2008, the last year he was here, he set a track record of 204.519 miles per hour. Career win leader here at Nashville are Buddy Lazier, Alex Barron, the late great Gilles de Ferran, Tony Kanaan, Dario Franchitti, each with one. Scott Dixon is by far and away the king of Nashville with 3 wins, all consecutive from 2006 to 2008, which means when Scotty D revisits here later in the season, he will have a 3-win streak on the line. Something to keep an eye on later this NTT IndyCar season. Another interesting stat, all winners have always started from the top 10, so starting and track position is everything here. Minute 19 now, we see some of the big names coming up from the 510 esports team. Forsyth and Musselman 1 and 2. 208.505. My goodness, they just threw it down the gauntlet big time. Julian Altina slides in there in P4, 205.266. The gas man Messias, who won that gas mileage race in Indy Fix from Dover, 205.016. So what do you think about these big times that are popping up on the board all of a sudden?
Yeah, no, I'm really impressed by Craig's and AJ's time. They are a full 2 tenths above Alain Bertot. So, yeah, no, super fast. And there's also a lot of spread. And, that typically happens with a single split race. So there are some times that are, above the 23 and a half second mark. So some of those drivers and their setups, they're going to have to, they're not going to be able to adjust a lot. But the leaders, they're going to have to navigate traffic as well. So that's going to be a tough challenge. Again, clean air is super important. Tires are important as well. Otherwise, you're going to degrade them easily. The outside is viable for making moves, but it really punishes you for doing that. So, another challenge to the leaders. I don't think it's going to be a single file possession necessarily, because there's going to be a lot of challenges for them to overcome.
Well, we are now done, and it looks like Craig Forsyth is going to get to pull the 4D car for the 4D RACEWEAR Sunday or Saturday. I knew I would do it. I I kept thinking this is Sunday for some reason. But for the 4D RACEWEAR Saturday IndyCar Series Open top split, so the sponsor's car is on the front row there. That's good for the series sponsor and everything for us. So good on Craig. I'm sure he's excited about that. And lining up next to him will be AJ Musselman momentarily. But, hey, let's get the starting lineup in here for today's, let's see what we got, 115 laps here at Nashville. Go right ahead, Antonio. Call them out.
Well, first of all, I'm super happy that it's not Sunday, that it's Saturday. Sunday. But it's 115 laps, and let's go through our starting lineup. So, pole position, it's Craig Forsyth with a 22.4. He is joined on the front row by AJ Musselman, also with a 22.4, but 22.46. Then in row 2, we find Alain Berchot all the way from France with a 26. He is joined by Julian Altena, 22.7 from the Netherlands. Row 3, we can find Nelson Messias, the Gasman, 22.8, and he's joined by Corey Harville with a 22.8 as well. In row 4, we can find Carlos Aguiar with a 22.9, and he's joined by Rob Anglinix, 22.9 as well. In row 5, we can find Thomas Kuhl, and he's
And alongside by him is Bruce DeMarco. Going back to the next row is Adam Koslar and Sylvu Lazar. Again, if we're butchering these things, we apologize. Just let us know and we'll make sure that's corrected. Jarowski, Jovel, Vincenti, Munoz, Unsuri, and Ross round out the remainder of the 18-car field. Might have lost Antonio there momentarily. We'll see if he pops on back here, but we'll call this out. But teammates on the front row with that 510 esports team.
Is everything good?
Yeah, I hear you back loud and clear. I finished it up for you. No problem. That's what teammates do, man.
Cool, thank you.
But hey, we're getting ready to go green. We're momentarily getting ready to do that here in turn 3. Nashville Super Speedway, 1.33 miles super speedway, concrete, unique oval. It's been a while since IndyCar's been on concrete in real life. They did it for Dover and here, but since then they haven't returned to another concrete track. Bringing them down real slow. Craig brings it, gets a good jump, and we are underway. Julian on the outside trying to get P3 as we are moving on to turn 1. Green flag underway. IndyCar Series open. Saturday, strike the field.
And very quickly, they're trying to get in a single file. Again, you can use the outside to make moves, but it's not something that you want to do all the time. That's Julian is able to slot in. Well, Berchot gets a little tight exiting the corner. And here comes Messias. Messias taking a look to the inside, but is unable to complete the pass. Now he's going to be in the draft of Berchot. He's going to get a good run. I don't think it's going to be enough for him to make the actual move. As Julian Altena there is looking to make a pass on AJ Musselman. And you really have to battle through it at the very early stages because, again, everything's going to degrade, and Musselman and Altena there side by side exiting too.
Yeah, my experience here in just about every form of, well, I've been on I've done a DW12 race here for Lionheart. Ooh, AJ into the wall, corner exit of corner 4. Let's see if that impacts him. It might slow him down a little bit. Julian taking a peek, decides not to go, stays in line. Right now, the bottom is the preferred line. Not a lot of people working the high line like we saw Andrew Marquez do during the Monday race. Right now, though, the biggest benefactor of this lineup right now in the points championship is Alain Boutreau, who is sitting there in 5th. He is the current highest driver in the IndyCar Series Open standings. He is currently ranked 8th. Right behind him, battle for position in the standings, exactly as Uncle Rob. Uncle Rob there is P9 in the standings. So we got potential championship implications here, at least in the top 10 for the IndyCar Open Series.
Yeah, they're nose to tail here on the track and also in the championship points. We'll see who gets the better part of each other. I also want to mention Altena went by AJ Musselman there for P2.
Look at this pack back for 11th. Jeez.
Oh my God. That's not gonna end well.
It's DeMarco in the Pepsi car up high. He has been venturing up high to get that line to work, along with Lazar. They both have been hanging up high, where the rest of the cars in that group are kind of hanging down low. And you see, getting good air on the front wings, going through turns 1 and 2. Problem is, the corner of exit 2 has a magnet in it. And we've talked about that magnet a number of times on ovals this season. It likes to reach out and grab you.
Yeah, and the magnet here at Nashville is especially strong. I know, I felt it.
Yeah, I've been there too. Yeah.
They're still together, and I see Munoz there in P15. He's trying a little bit of the outside. Again, what you want to do here is you want to get clean air to your car. And how do you do that? By running where the car in front of you is not.
Yeah, and he was way up there. That was Jaworski, I think.
Marco hit the walls.
Marco, yeah, one of them. Trying to get a camera on the right car.
Yeah, I think he doesn't have damage. I think he got away with it. He hit it really square, and that's the thing. If you hit the car like really square, you're gonna be okay. If you hit it a little bit more with your right rear or your front rear or your front right, then that's gonna be it.
I think that was Lazar that got up in there, but he's recovered. Oh, almost another contact there, but just adjusting his exit point and brought him out a little bit higher than he wanted to. DeMarco up high, gives up the position to I hope I'm saying this is Jaworski. I hope we're saying that there. Fabian, we'll just call him Fabian. That we know we're saying at least somewhat right.
Jaroszewski, probably.
Jaroszewski, okay.
All right, I mean, I made that up right now, so we could be totally wrong.
Hey, just let us know in the Race First Discord server how to say your name. If we're saying it wrong, we apologize in advance. We are the king butchers of names, and my name's been butchered just as much as everyone else's, so apologies in advance. But kind of watching a battle back here at the back end of the field for 13th, 14th, and 15th. Pretty much everyone is single file now. Let's go back up front to Craig Forsyth, who is our leader now by 4/10. As mentioned, Musselman gave up the position to Altena. Altena now 3/10, reeling him in. This is a good run here for Julian, former teammate of mine. Forsyth, another former teammate of mine. Watching these two guys run each other down here in the opening stages. Lap 113, if you're joining us, thanks for joining us. We realize that today's a big virtual IndyCar racing day on YouTube. Thanks for sticking around for a little while and checking out the guys for the IndyCar Series Open division here. And make sure, if you haven't done so already, give us a thumbs up. Do that. That's a big way to help the channel, help other people find us, as well as subscribe and click the bell so you'll miss out on more Race First iRacing programming. Lots of IndyCar action here on Race First coming up. We'll talk about that. But man, so how surprised were you to see that this track in real life is actually coming back to the schedule as early as the end of this season for the NTT IndyCar season?
I was not expecting it.
No, I don't think anybody was.
But that's something that made me genuinely super happy, and I really liked the Nashville street course as Nelson Messias is going by AJ Musselman there for P3. Messias is marching on. He is up 2 spots. Again, I was not expecting it at all, but when I heard about it, it's like, man, that's so cool. We're gonna get an additional oval, and it's gonna be to end the actual season. How cool is that? When is the last time we had a race, a Nova in the championship? It's been ages.
Yeah, it's been like almost 10 years. I believe it was Fontana back in 2015-ish, somewhere in there.
15, yeah.
So and I think we're getting not to me to cut you off. I think we're getting like 4 ovals out of the last 6 races to end the season as well.
Yeah, I think so. Is that Iowa's? Both Iowa's? Milwaukee, I think, is going to be.
Yeah, but Iowa is a doubleheader, and Milwaukee will be a doubleheader, I think.
Oh, right. Milwaukee's a little area, so it's Gateway, right?
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot of them, so that's super cool, and it brings back variety. And then, one of the key or cornerstones, really, of IndyCar racing is the truck variety, and that you have to be good in everything.
Oh, Messias! We got a car spinning on the front stretch. It is Munoz. Will it bring out the caution? Yes!
Oh, and live also, Adam Colsar was checking up and got hit from behind.
Let's check out what happened to Kolsar. Oh, okay, yeah, and there's what happened. He checks up, and there was a car to his inside. And when you check up in the corner, these cars become a little unwieldy because you're starting to lose downforce. And that's what happened, unfortunately. Not related to the incident on the front stretch, but that is going to be probably day done for Adam. Former or fellow Hoosier with me from Club Indiana there. Started 11th, fell down the 17th, and looks like his day, unfortunately, might be done. Pit stops are happening. Tires are your best friends here, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we're going to see everyone coming to the pits as they are. And yeah, you definitely need to get tires. It's going to help them quite a bit right now because you should be able to make it around 60 laps on a fuel tank. So fuel is really not the issue. As they are coming right now into the pits, Muscle Man stays out. Lazar stays
Julian
out.
With a bit of a cockeyed position there on pit road.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Forsyth down on the way. And Messiah's out next. So, looks like 510 Esports is splitting the pit strategy up front. They're going to keep Musselman out. And so the team's going to split strategies. New tires starting from P4 on down to the remainder of the field pretty much. And old tires are going to be positions 1, 2, and 3.
An interesting play, no matter how you slice it. I think, it makes sense. If you're going to be in clean air, this strategy works perfectly. If you're not, this is really not going to be helpful.
Yeah, well, and I think AJ's a pretty strategical guy. And like I always say, you can't have IndyCar race without an AJ in the lineup. So thank God there. But he probably has driven a number of these races already this week and has probably discovered that much as what we talked about, it's hard to pass here. Really, the opening laps of a stint is about your best opportunities to pass. After that, it turns into a single file race. I mean, it's like that in the real world as well. I suspect there'll be just like that in IndyCar racing later this season when the real cars get there as well. But I bet he knows that track position is everything, and he's probably able to hoping for another caution for sure. That's number one. I'm sure of that. And number two, get some lead time here, get some laps in, and see if the strategy is going to pay off, because he who leads controls the air behind him and sees the air in front of him. So AJ might have made a pretty good move here very early on, but he's going to split strategies between his teammate. Now, the car in front of him, let's talk about that really quick. That is the first car, that is Moonholz, who spun. Yep. On the lap that brought out the caution, as well as the incident also with Kolsar. He will get the wave around here momentarily. When the lights go out on the pace car, he will get the wave around. That is a rule in IndyCar racing. The leader, and they've earned it by leading the race, gets to bring the field back to green, not another car in front of him. So they always wave around those cars. This is not a lucky dog. This is actually a rule set in IndyCar racing.
Yep. So a couple of things happening. Lazar is pitting
yeah.
P2. So we are going to have now AJ Musselman and Bruce DeMarco. I'm quite concerned about Bruce because when we saw him hit the wall while we were watching that fight for 14, 15, and back on from there, he seemed to be okay, but then he started dropping like a rock. Everyone went by him, so he's not in the best situation. His car is clearly damaged.
22 laps on those tires, by the way.
Yeah, and 22 laps on his tires, and now he's going to have the entire field behind him going super fast. So that's something that I want to keep an eye on. And also Julian Altena pitted not only once, but he also pitted this time by. I think he's tough enough. I'm not sure that you can make it to the end from here. I don't really see how that is possible at all. But again, it's a really good strategy for Musselman. He knows that everyone else needs to pit, so might as well take the track position.
And he is the number one car in the split. He's the number one car for a reason. So he knows what he's doing. Let's put lights are out on the pace car. Everyone up against the wall, assuming the position, so no one tries to pass on the outside. I wonder if DeMarco might stay low, thinking that his used tires are going to be slowing him down on the restart. I do notice Forsyth giving a little bit of room between himself and DeMarco, seeing how this start's going to come out. No wheel spin. We're back to green. Lap 23 of 115. And sailing off in the distance is Musselman and DeMarco.
Yeah, pretty good reason for Musselman, and it helps to have that buffer, right? You don't have the guys with new tires right behind you. As Forsyth there is trying to make a move on DeMarco, he was kind of blocked, not necessarily blocked per se, but DeMarco took his line.
Still watching this battle between Uncle Rob and Alan Boutreau. Rob's being pestered right now by Yves Jovel.
Yeah, and again, you really want to make your moves early on, but you also don't want to like super abuse your tires, because then you're gonna pay for it if the caution doesn't come out.
So yeah, and we'll go back further in the field. Thomas Kuhl in a battle here side by side. The Valvoline car and the High V. In the High V car. So I was spotting for a driver, Caleb Binsey, in the Lionheart IndyCar Series for a race here. And really, it was push for like the first 5 laps, and then settle in and defend. That's kind of what it was.
Yeah, and I think it's very similar no matter what kind of setup you have, and that's just due to the nature of the track and how it eats up the tires, and how that top line becomes viable, and then it's very, very tough to pass. Just also wanted to mention that Bruce Marco was passed by Forsyth and Messias, and now
Boutreau. Yep.
So yeah, he's now gonna start dropping like a rock. He no longer has the benefit of having some clean-ish air. Some skills to be hitting him. That's just a glitch in my software. Glenix making a move now.
Don't want to say hello to my broadcast partner later tonight, Dave, with the FTN there. He's in chat, popped in to say hi. We'll be doing the VOR IndyCar Series immediately following this, pretty much. And I will be in the booth as color commentary, so he gets to call the action, and I just get to call the reaction, just like you are right now. Just show up and call a race. I like it.
I love that.
Let's see if we can find the closest battle on the racetrack. I think it's right here.
Yeah, it's for P7, P8, DeMarco, Carlos Aguiar, and Dershevsky. There's that hornet nest again. Behind Dershevsky, we have Harville, Alton trying to come back. Aiden Ossery also. They're all very close together. Dershevsky now making a move on Aguiar on the outside. Here on the front stretch, he's not going to be able to complete pass, I think. But he's going to get a great run.
He's pushing up. Giving room on exit. I'm glad I have you in the booth for these the Latin names, because I cannot say Carlos's last name nearly as sexy as you can. I just can't do it. It sounds so bad, so custom American, like, gives us a little international flavor. Oh, Aguilar washes up.
And here comes Harville.
Yeah, they got runs on the high side there.
Yeah, and at the same time, Dershevsky was able to make it by DeMarco. Again, DeMarco's really, really bleeding time right now. That strategy did not pay off at all.
Well, he got track position, and it's still hard to pass here, whether or not the car in front of you is fully equipped or not. But at some point, you're right, he's going to have to stop. And they're going to go 3 wide on the guy.
3 wide for P10. DeMarco barely makes it out of there. And now Julian Altonai's come into play. I'm wondering why Julian pit twice. I think it's up enough again, but I don't really understand the strategy. I'm not in the driver's seat, very close there again on Harville.
I love the livery there for Harville as the Pontiac badging on the side. There is no Pontiacs in IndyCar racing.
I hadn't noticed that. That looks so cool. There's no Pontiac anywhere, as far as they're very close in front of Julian. Alton moves to the top, and I'm listening to his engine right now. He's saving fuel behind this guy, so he's not entirely uncomfortable in this situation, I think.
Yeah, there he goes, shifting the 6th gear pretty early on. Not the pass, and he's watching those two make contact. He's just going to go to the low side, get 2 for 1. Altena gets the position.
Oh,
Positions.
Yeah, positions. What a move.
But you saw it happen, develop in front of him. You did exactly what he saw. You saw. They saw those 2 cars making contact. He's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, and I think that that totally threw that strategy away, at least for a second. Oh, that's Harville and Aguiar. They're gonna wreck at some point. They're both pushing up a lot, and now it's Aiden Ossery who's catching them.
Yeah, there goes Aguilar, going to wash up in front of him. Slide job. IndyCar slide job right there. And now I'm guessing Harville is probably not very happy at all.
Yeah, I don't think he is. And I think at this point, Aguiar has really used up his tires. Like, he was fighting a lot. And something that you can do is if you turn the wheel more, that's not going to make your car turn.
No, that's just going to... it's sandpaper here.
It is. It's sandpaper, and you know, regardless of the track that you're at, if you turn the wheel more, the only thing that you're going to do is you're going to induce more tire wear, because the tires are essentially, you know, a little bit more to the left or right or whatever you're pointing, as Harville is able to make the move, and now Gary's coming back. Yeah, that doesn't make him go faster, and it just breaks it down.
Oh, there's a contact, and there it is. You called it. It was going to be a wreck, and it ended up turning into a wreck, and we are still green. Still green.
Yeah, Harville trying to
but Harville, he might be done. Yeah, he's done, and Aguilar is he is very wounded at the moment. He's got a side pod that's floating around, and he is a one-winged angel. He is missing the right front wing there. So these are pretty much going to be terminal repairs for Carlos. His day is done, and that's, well, I would say normally if we would go back to the iRacing IndyCar community Discord server to see the interesting discussion that would pan out of this, but I don't think either one of these are members there, so we're not sure how this one's going to shake out with the battle of the words. But in terms of the battle on the racetrack, day done for these two, unfortunately. Back up front, though, AJ Musselman. He has a 2.5 lead over his teammate, Craig Forsyth, 42 of 115. AJ now 42 laps into his stint. The only other 2 cars that are on his strategy are Munoz and DeMarco. And they are 42 laps in, but got to wonder when the first stop could be coming for Musselman. I'm sure he really wanted the caution right there. And Messias, the gas man, almost gave a little bit of the right front to Craig Forsyth to take back to Canada.
Yeah, man, and Messias is really flying. He was really back in Forsyth for the last couple of laps. I was keeping an eye on you know, the gap from both of them, and he was making just tiny cuts here and there, and he's able to make the move finally. And now he's essentially going to have get super loose coming off of 4, but he's essentially going to have a clean track in front of him. He's going to have clean air, because AJ Musselman is 2.5 seconds in front of him. So
yeah, they both had to check up a little bit there. Yeah.
I think Craig is going to try something here. No, backside of it.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, welcome back. This is Race First coverage of the 4D RACEWEAR Saturday IndyCar Open Series top split coming to you from Nashville, where we've completed 46 of a scheduled 115. If you're enjoying Race First coverage of today's race and would like to monetarily support your commentary team here, please find the link in our description for our GoFundMe link there and our GoFundMe campaign, and give today. We realize any contribution is appreciated. We realize times are tough, so we really appreciate everything that you do to help keep the channel alive. Forsyth making a little bit of donation of rubber against the turn 4 exit wall there.
Oh man, and he's really struggling right now. He got super tight right behind of Messias now, and now he got loose, so changing conditions for his car. I can see him wrestling that car, trying to make the corner, and that has brought Alain Breton right to his back bumper, or no bumper.
Attenuator.
There we go. Attenuator.
So Breton driving that livery we saw in the Indy 500 that ejected the tire over the wall. I think that was that livery there.
Yeah, I think so. it was Rosenquist, right?
Yeah, Rosenquist. Yep.
And it's so lucky that it went, by and only hit that car.
Yeah, for sure.
But then the lady that, was owner of that cruise, now she has the best story of her life.
Yeah, she's got a new car, I think.
And a new car,
yeah.
Everyone is fighting.
Yeah, the cars are.
Right now.
Look at the time separation for a lot of these drivers. The handling of these cars has just gone to crap. Although Altena is the only one able to make hay, and I think a lot of that might have to do with familiarity of the oval and ability over some of these other drivers that we haven't really always seen in the top split for the Saturday broadcast. But he is continuously showing that his ability in these cars, at least over the mid-pack, is definitely a little bit deeper right now as he gets the position. About the only car making passes on the racetrack at the moment. Move him up to 7th as we're now 51 of 115 into this thing.
Yeah, he washed up.
He did.
Very, very close to that.
He did.
To that wall, and that brought Jaroszewski back a tiny bit. I don't think Jaroszewski's going to have anything to fight Julian with. Julian, I think what he was doing was not only saving fuel, but only saving tire and not being overly aggressive, and just making sure that you have something to fight at the end. Because if you go past a certain threshold, then the tires really, really stop working. They're not going to turn. They're not going to do anything, and you're going to be super slow. So if you're able to take care of them, then you're going to be able to make moves late in a run.
Well, his car looks like it's still rotating pretty good. Look at his corner entry and line here in 1 and 2. About a half lane off the bottom of the white line there, the yellow line. Right out to the wall down the backstretch. Let's watch his entrance into 3 here. Right down to the yellow line. Yep.
Now, last time by, he was the second fastest car on track. So, I think that actually makes a lot of sense. He was not as fast as AJ, but he's right on it. And just to wrap up, Julian is somebody that has a lot of experience with these cars. He has been running the VOR league for a very long time. He's very, very accustomed to driving an IR-18 around these places. And just recently he started running officials, and so it's really good to see him here on the SOF field.
Out 10 of that time by 197.5. Musselman, your leader, 196.3. We're watching last lap time. Macias, 197.4. So we're going to have a battle brewing for the lead. Go call it. Where we at?
Sorry, I saw Alan Berchaw. He was really catching there with great foresight, but got a tiny bit of the wall. He seems to have gotten away with it, but it actually left some sparks flying there, exiting 4.
Okay, so Macias brought Musselman's lead down a little bit. It's now under 3 seconds. Macias 2.8. Now it's getting right up to 2.3, but he's flirting with, he looks like he's gaining in the corners. 2.5 now. Musselman's probably taking it easy in the corners because you could do that. You're the leader. And I also imagine that his tires, and there we go from his in-car camera, he has lap traffic right in front of him. That is DeMarco. Looks like DeMarco has went ahead and decided to pit. DeMarco is the last car in the lead lap, so he has fallen all the way back to the clutches of the leader just in this stint alone. But it's that dirty air. Even that little bit of dirty air that DeMarco is putting behind his car there, that is a handful for AJ with tires that are 57 laps old. And AJ says, that's it. I'm coming to pit lane.
Yep. Yeah, and from that lap alone, the one prior to this one, he lost 8 tenths. That's just because he caught DeMarco. So the very best thing that he could have done is going into the pits. And now he's in a really good spot. He doesn't have to pit anymore. He's probably going to be stuck maybe a lap down just because of the nature of pit sequences. But he's going to be in the prime position to win this race, actually. Everybody still needs to pit.
Sticking to that strategy is going to possibly pay off for AJ. AJ down and away. A very slippery pit access road here. So you got to be careful. Coming off now. He's going to come out next to, who is that? Jaroszewski.
Yeah, looks like Jaroszewski,
Jaroszewski, okay, sorry. We'll just call him
And
it's Fabian.
Look at the difference. Yeah, look at the difference from the tires. Look at how fast he's able to catch up and just make a move easily.
So Musselman has the fastest lap of the race. We'll go ahead and get that up on the screen here momentarily. We'll get the camera back on AJ. He does have the best lap of the race. Musselman, a 2:02 flat. He might actually improve that here with the light tank and new tires. We'll see.
Yeah, his best lap time was a 23.13. He just did that 23.17. He's flying.
Yeah, this will be the one that we'll see when his tires are fully in. See how he does here. 2:02 flat is the purple lap right now. Let's see if he throws down the gauntlet this time by... Nope. But still a 23.1. I mean, not a slow lap by any means.
No. And you also have to, take into account that he doesn't want to really push it as much. So, again, same thing. We need to make sure that those tires make all the way to the end from now. Because he knows he's going to be at a tire disadvantage for that, against the other guys that are going to be pitting around 20 laps, 15 laps, something like that. So Musselman went 59. Everyone else dropped on 21. So let's see if we do the math here, figure out when they're going to stop. Around 80?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be pitting around lap 80, but I think a lot of them are going to be banking on a caution. Like you were mentioning, the pit exit is not easy at all. It's very sleek, and we've seen time and time again folks spinning out on pit exit. So, I could potentially see that happening, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, there was 35 laps or so between when he stopped and when AJ stopped and when the rest of the field stopped. And now Julian actually went a little bit further. So it might be right around a lap 100 or so, I think, is where this might shake out.
Or maybe not. On Linux to the pits, he's hitting from P5, actually.
Now, he might be shooting for a short fill, fresh tires, do the undercut, make some positions up. We're watching Uncle Rob on pit road right now. P7 currently as he's following down the order because he's on pit road, getting to his stall. This will be his final stop of the day. Hits his marks there in that olive, green, and tan car up on the jacks. 4 sets of fresh tires, down and away. Watch him navigate this pit road. Going to go world to his in-car camera. Getting to those cones, off the button. Carefully bringing it up to speed. Look how slippery it is. You can tell. And back on the track. Back on the track there.
Aiden Ossery and Rodrigo Munoz are all.
So he rejoins 11th, and that puts him 3 spots behind Musselman. And there's no one in front of him.
Yeah, and he's now moving to 9th, going by Ossery and Munoz. So yeah, that tracks. He's 9 seconds behind Musselman, though.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, what AJ is looking for is a need to make it back to the lead lap, right? That's the only thing that could potentially take this.
Oh, contact on the leader! The leader into the wall!
Oh my God!
That is a caution. That is a caution, and that is misery for AJ. He's going to stay out, but there was something with the leader. I think he hit Fabian. Fabian might have been coming in, maybe not have called his pit stop. So let's go back in the Wayback Machine here and see exactly what happened.
Oh my God, that is exactly what happened. You called it right. Yaroshevsky was trying to come into his pits, and I didn't see any message. I didn't hear anything from the radio. Like basically, he didn't announce it at all.
So there's the leader right behind him. We're watching out his gearbox right now. He's slowing down. He's got a run on him. Oh, he missed the entry. He floated up, and then the leader came right into him because the leader had to go on the outside, so the leader had to commit to the outside, and that's exactly what happened. Oh, that's painful. That's painful, man. I feel bad for Messias. I really do.
Yeah, he had a really good race going. But now it changes everything. And the guys that were saving fuel, saving tires, saving everything, they're pitting now. That's gonna have Forsyth, Brichot, Altena, Yves Royal, Joyal. They're gonna be the big winners, as well as Silvio Lazar, their P5.
Yeah, down and away, Forsyth pitting his final stop. Boutreau pitting his final stops. Yves, his final stop. He's out and away. Julian just kind of taking some time on pit road. I think he's just waiting for things to shake out. Maybe in front of him, not sure. I don't know if he's damaged or what. But he is down. Unless he has a penalty he has to face here. Not sure what's going on there. Okay. We're watching Bruce DeMarco using the entry road on the backstretch to make pit road here. He's going to pass the pace car. Not sure if he's going to get a penalty out of that one or not.
You do if you do it.
Yeah, so he's slowing down and giving all those spots back, and almost watched another collision happen there on as Munoz, I think. Nope.
Oh.
Another car on pit road.
Yeah, it's Lazar. And
yeah, I think it was Lazar that almost got into the back of DeMarco there as he was coming down the pit road the prescribed way. So I believe in the prescribed way in this is just simply come off of four. Some leagues actually have league rules where you have to use the pit road entry on the backstretch, but not for officials, at least not in this case. Very few of the tracks use the backstretch pit road entry. I think one of them that comes to mind for sure is Homestead. But let's get back to watching current television here and get back to your leader. Now, right in front of him is no, that is not Lazar. That is Munoz, yeah. He will get the wave around.
Yeah, both.
There might be another car in front of him. I can't see.
There are a couple. We have, it's Rodrigo Munoz. We have Raul Angelix, AJ Massaman, of course, Aidan Ossery, and Carlos Aguiar. They are all going to take the wave around here. And then behind those guys, we have Craig Forsyth, our new leader, with Alan Bertot, who, is poised to get a good points here.
Yeah.
And then Yves Joyal, who we haven't really talked about all night long, but he was in the right strategy at the time. So a lot of cars are going to be trapped a lap down here.
Yeah, sometimes the key is all you need to do is stay on the lead lap, and the caution falls right when you need it to, and that's it. That's all you need.
Yep. And it changes the entirety of the race, because now you're going to have, as the waiver is happening.
There we go.
But now you're going to have, really good track position. That means you have less cars to worry about. And, okay, I understand now. Julian is on chat, and he's saying that his car is beat up, and so he wishes he could keep it out of the walls. So that explains why he was pitting again and again. He must have some damage.
He's P4 right now, though.
He's P4. He was saving tire. He was saving fuel. He was. We saw him there being like super cautious and avoid that incident that happened right in front of him.
Before we go green, though, do check in chat. The Gasman Messiah says it's a shame he didn't warn us that he was going to pit and slow down in the middle of the track, just as we kind of suspected. So we feel sorry for you, and we feel your pain, Nelson. It's happened to more than one of us. So you do have to be responsible for your fellow drivers out there and call your pit stops. You don't have to, but it's nice. Going back green now.
Oh, AJ trying to make a move super quickly there on Jurashevsky. He has a lot of cars in front of him before he can catch up to the leaders.
Now, the problem with AJ, he's in an opposite situation what he was before. He has 16 lap-old tires, where everyone else in front of him for position pretty much has brand spanking new freshies.
Yep. Altena making it, or trying to make it by Lazar there. Muscleman was able to dispatch all, of all the guys that were in front of him. Now he's going to have to work on
I think a lot of that was experience on an aggressive restart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's knowing when to go green and making and finding the holes on that aggressive restart. Julian almost getting a little bit of a side check there from Is it Aguilar? No, I am so bad with names now. I think it's Lazar. Yeah, it's just these new drivers that we don't see a lot. I'm trying to figure out who's who and what car. But yeah, Lazar in the next turn livery. Also got Thrustmaster on his car.
It looks pretty cool.
It does. I mean, you can see it from a mile away. If this was a real-world IndyCar race, his spotter would love that color combination.
He sure would. I see that Linux has also made it by all those lap cars, so now he's right there with Muscleman, a couple tenths away, and Muscleman is now working on catching Lazar there. But yeah, Lazar is also on fresh tires. Like he's a lap down because of the previous stint, but
yeah,
he's good.
Okay, we got a battle between Muscleman and Lazar here now.
And another one also brewing up with Altena and Yves Joyal there. That's for a podium spot.
Yeah.
I know that Altena was saying that he has a beat up car, but it doesn't
I don't know.
seem
He might be playing rope-a-dope right now. Might be doing a little sandbagging like Team Penske did at '94 with the Beast.
Yeah. Try to go to the outside there of Yves.
So yeah, he's going to have the momentum, and yeah, right there in the middle of the corner, gets the momentum, pulls away. High line Indy cars tend to do well on corner exit and pull away from the car on the low side. So the battle in the point standing between Buttrell and Uncle Rob is only 2 points. Only 2 points. So Rob's going to want to get as many positions as possible, but time is running out. 81 of 115. Thanks again for joining us. Make sure, click the thumbs up, click the bell as Uncle Rob does a really close cut down on Lazar getting the position. Move Uncle Rob up to 6. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Again, thanks for joining us. This is turning out to be a pretty exciting race. The cautions seem to be falling at an opportune time for a good number in the field, and I feel bad for AJ, and again, I feel bad for Messias, but AJ's still on track trying to recover. Messias, his day is done, and unfortunately, he was just pretty innocent in that incident.
Oh, 100% innocent. Like, there is no way that you can expect somebody to just park in front of you. Yeah, that was entirely on
it is a challenge. It is a challenge. I'm saying it's no easy feat to bring these cars, even in a simulation mode here, from 200 miles per hour, because that's about what they're doing, average 200 miles, close to it, average lap speed around this place, to a controllable speed that you can bring it off the banking onto a flat, dirty surface. So you can further slow down so you get on the pit road limiter so you don't get speeding on pit road. I mean, it sounds easy, doesn't it? But it's not. You know that.
It's anything but. And, I've been responsible for, I've caused wrecks. I've, taken myself out of the race multiple times because I missed my pit entry trying to go a little bit too fast. I guess my only thing here is if I was Fabian and I knew that I had the leader behind me close it in because I have my relative on, I would probably just said, hey, I'm into the pits. That's all.
Yeah. Julian up to the bottom step of the podium now. He's in third. He is on a roll. Let's take a look at last lap speeds. He's got to be one of the fastest cars on the track. Julian, your leaders, as you would expect, are the fastest cars with the clean air. Forsyth 200.6, Brutto 201.2, Julian 199.9. So just a fraction outside that 200 mile per hour bracket.
Yeah, I'm pretty much dead even with AJ Musselman and Rob Linux. I don't think they're going to be able to catch him.
Battle for position between AJ and Linux, though. Uncle Rob taking a look on the high side on AJ. He's going to have a run on exit. AJ gives him room. They're going to be side by side at the start-finish line through the tri-oval. Uncle Rob sticking to that high line. Exit didn't get him where he wanted to be. He's going to cut down now, get back into the draft. AJ defends in the middle of the track. That's legal, not blocking. Uncle Rob up high again. He's going to get the run off corner number 4. And nope, not quite get the position. Didn't quite clear him. He is clear if he had a spotter, but barely. So they're going to go side by side in the corner number 1 and 2. Uglinix again with the run on the high side. I keep telling you, the high side for these Indy cars with the momentum is the preferred line a lot of times. Most times, depending on which race you're watching, the low side is the preferred line. Not necessarily here. Ugliniks gets the position, move Uncle Rob up to 5th.
Yeah, and it was very interesting because we got to catch that live. That move that Ugliniks did, he went to the top in the lap prior, went to the top and then cut down. He did a little bit of a diamond shape exit of the corner, and that really helps on corner exit. That gives you a boost in momentum, and you're able to stay there. And that's why he was able to stick it up side by side with AJ on entry of corner of turn 3, and then complete the pass on the front stretch. That was really, really cool driving by both of them. I guess my concern right now is I don't think AJ is going to be able to come back from that. I think at this point his tires are probably destroyed. And again, Ugliniks pitted later, like 10 laps after that.
67 is when he pitted. Rob is 25 laps into his current stint. Musselman is 33 laps into his current stint.
Yeah, there we go. It was a perfect storm of horrible things that could have happened. That happened to AJ, and you know that's a bummer. But you win some, we lose some. Luck is part of it as well.
I love AJ as a driver, and he's a good dude too. And we've talked a number of times in DMs and everything. But sometimes there's a cloud that kind of hangs above you, and more often than not. Now he had some good showings very recently on some broadcasts that we've seen, and it makes me thrilled for him. But man, sometimes that guy just really has some bad luck, whether it's net code or just the caution falling at the wrong time. He's trying to recover, but I mean, yeah, if he'd have no luck sometimes if he didn't have any bad luck. So, but we're rooting for AJ here. He's P6, last car on the lead lap. So he is, if he keeps up his current pace, he's guaranteed a top or a lead lap finish, definitely a top 10 finish right now. I don't think we're worried about fuel at this point for anybody, so it's going to be race on out. It's going to really see whose tires can get to the end. Looking at the front, everybody is on 23 lap old or 22 lap old tires. Julian stopped a little bit later than everyone else, so his tires have 1 lap of goodness more than everyone else's does. Not sure how that's going to pay off. We'll see. That remains to be seen, actually. But he is 2.1 behind Bruteau. Bruteau just a second behind Forsyth. He is in the draft envelope. He might be able to pull in Forsyth through 8 of the draft. There's also a lapped car back there that might slow him down. Saw Julian kick up a little sparks on corner exit of 2. Not sure if he might have hit the wall again, but maybe Julian realizes that his toe out is a little wrong, so he's trying to slam it back in. Who knows?
Yeah, and I'm seeing Rob Ugliniks is making a move on Steve Real. He's moving him up to 4th.
Yeah, great run for Uncle Rob, up 4 spots really from this whole race. Yves up 9. And another one that we want to give a shout out, here's Aiden Ussery. He is up 9 spots. So those are your big gainers of the day. It's Yves and Aiden here. 9 spots. Now, some of that's passing cars on pit road that got caused in wrecks, but you know what? To finish first you must finish.
100%. I mean, you have to be there to capitalize on opportunities. That's the name of the game. Sometimes you're going to have a bad luck at the draw, but some other times you're going to have a good one. And you need to make sure that you capitalize on those steps. And
where's the easiest pass always made on the racetrack? When the car is in pit road. So
yeah, you don't have to suffer at all.
Yeah, just keep it between the lines.
Yeah, I just mentioned Musselman. He's catching there with Yves. I think what's happening right now with Yves is his tires are spent. I don't think he was able to manage them as well as some of the other folks have, and right now he's falling like a rock. AJ should be able to catch him next time by. Yeah, they were like I think they were like a second and a half apart, and now it's down to just 3 lanes. A little bit of traffic in front.
There's a car entering pit road, getting out of the way there. Very controlled manner.
Interesting.
Again, if you're just joining us, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us being part of our Saturday afternoon IndyCar Series Open top split here for Saturday. I want to thank you all. Next week, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, Montreal. And that's a race course that a lot of people like.
Yeah, it's a great track.
It'll be the final road course of the season for the IndyCar Series Open guys, and then they'll wrap it up at Pocono on the Tricky Triangle, one of the crown jewels, to round out the season. And then we'll be back to cover now next season for us. Season 2 of 2024 is going to be a mix of Indy Open and the IIT. So the difference, the way you'll be able to tell the difference between the broadcasts is we'll just have some slightly different colored logos for IIT and Open. And another way to also check is just check the race first schedule or the iRacing schedule. And if there's an IIT race and an Open race scheduled at the same time, we'll be covering the IIT instead. And IIT, not only we're excited for that one, but man, we're going to be in for some long days because those are going to be 100 length races, 100% length races.
We're gonna need to stay hydrated as well.
Stay hydrated. we could use donations, people. Please, donations.
Yeah, we're gonna need a coffee or two.
Yep. 10 laps to go here. Craig Forsyth, very quietly, is really running this thing out as a started on the pole, business-like nature. The guys from 510 Esports have split the strategy. Unfortunately, it was going AJ's way until that last caution. Then, by virtue of the caution, moved Craig up to the lead. Track position, you name it, everything is falling his way right now. And he's about 9 laps away from pulling out a win here on the IndyCar Open Series.
And great call from those guys to have a split strategy, because then it panned out. It was going to pan out either for AJ or for Craig. So, they covered all the races, and here they are. Craig Forsyth about to, unless something super weird happens, he's going to be able to get that victory. Because I saw that Alan Ricciardo was catching a couple of laps ago, but then
I think that lap car is really messing with them right now. And I think we're going to see a battle on the racetrack very quickly between Uncle Rob and Julian, and then AJ and Yves is starting to turn into another battle.
Yeah, I was sure that AJ was going to be able to make it by Yves quickly, but that was not the case.
Yeah, it says a lot about that dirty air. Look where AJ is. Look how much higher he is, trying to get that clean air on those front wings to get that car to turn. So the dirty air is really impacting AJ. AJ on really old tires compared to Yves. 51 laps on this current set for AJ. Yves only 38.
Yeah, the tire difference is massive, and I think that also helps a lot Yves to stay in front of him, and also the positioning of your car. If you make sure that AJ brushes the wall there on exit of 4, that's not gonna help that case for him to make it by Yves. And again, nothing that Yves did wrong. He's entirely within his rights to cover and to make sure that he positions his car wherever he can feed the worst air to the guys behind. So, heads up driving there.
So looking in chat, Fabian jumped in. Sorry, lack of experience from my side. Had 0% right front. Well, that would make the car hard to turn. Don't realize that before I pitted. Was running +10 on the weight checker, and still the tires on it. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think Yoda said it in one of the Star Wars movies. Failure is the greatest teacher. I'm sure that you'll, in your mental notebook, be improving yourself and probably not suffering or going to get yourself in that situation again. So a little personal reflection there by Fabian in chat, and good on him for a little personal assessment. But we're getting ready to finish this thing out. Let's get back up to the front. Craig Forsyth, now 2 to go, and he's all by himself by 3.6 seconds.
Yeah, he's all the way in front. He doesn't even need to catch these guys that are in front of him, although he's probably going to have to because of the time difference. Oh my God, it's so big. But yeah, he's coming to take the white flag, which is out right now. What's up?
White flag, 1.33 miles to go. Car getting out of the way, stays high, gets to the low side, exit of corner 2, off the wall very comfortably, down the backstretch for the last time into corner number 3, keep it in the middle of the racetrack, right down to the yellow line, exit corner, a little breathing room off corner number 4, and there you have it, 4D Racewear 510 Esports, Craig Forsyth, your winner on the Saturday Strength of Field race.
Britta, Altena, Linux, Joel, Muscleman, that's the 6 cars that finished on the lead lap. Man, that was pretty cool for Nashville standards.
Yeah, I will, you know what, I'll echo that. I will echo that. Let's get today's final results in on the screen here for you. As mentioned, Greg Forsyth with the win, good friend of the program and also rocking the 4D sponsorship. P2, Alan Boutreau. P3, I'm going to make Julian happy, and I know he'll definitely want to talk on the broadcast, that's for sure. Before he goes off to his VOR race at Road Atlanta here in a few, maybe an hour and a half or so. Uncle Rob fights the 4th. Doesn't quite gain the ground he needed on Boutreau for the points, because this is battle for 8th and 9th in the Open Points Series Championship, but still might be able to rescue some of that. Yves Joval, P5, Muscleman, just bad luck where that caution fell 6. Lazar 7th, Ussery 8th, Moonholtz 9th, DeMarco 10th, D'Aguilar, and again, you say it much more sexier than I can, 11th. Messiah with the bad luck in 12th there. Fabian 13th, Vicente 14th, Corey Halverl involved in that incident in 15th. Moving on to the last page here. Cool, Kolsar, and Ross round out the remainder of your 18 car field. All right. Shall we go to the... Also, do want to point out, biggest gainers was Yves and again Aiden, both up 9 spots. And the purple lap there was Forsyth there. Not sure when he exactly said it, but he did have the fastest purple lap to close out the race. 23.012. Yep, 23 flat. So let's go ahead and also, while we're waiting for everybody, just don't forget thumbs up. And subscribe, click the bell, and if you got a little pocket change, send it our way. We'd appreciate it. Donate to the program, help us out. Big deal. All right, let's see who's going to be waiting for an interview. And there is Craig. I'm assuming we will see Julian. He actually just sent me a message. Oh, it's been there a while. So he was just telling me, hey, I'm going to make the race. Well, glad to see you showed up, Julian. Let's bring up Craig Forsyth here. Hey, Craig, fortunate yellow fell your way. Not a very fortunate yellow for your teammate, but you guys split the strategy, covered your bases. Either way, 510 Esports was going to win, but it was your day and 4D getting the win after all this.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what we did when the caution came out, and we decided it was like AJ was like, at least one of us needs to go in. So I went in, he stayed out, and it was looking good for AJ right till I think it was Nielsen that got rear-ended by someone when he was going into the pits. It was like, it's a roll of the dice as to whether it was going to work out for AJ or work out for us, and in the end, it came good for us, which I'm of course happy with, but disappointed for AJ because his work on these setups is phenomenal. So shout out to him. He's the reason we crossed the line in first.
Again, conditions. This track is hard to pass. Was it a lot more of the same, or did you actually have a little extra on the setup that made you a little bit better than everybody else? Because it looked difficult out there, from our point of view.
Oh. No, I'm terrible on the tires here. My first run, I was down to 30%, and we came in because of the caution. I still had I think 7 or 8 more laps to go, and I had just no pace. I'm brutal on the tires here. I burn them down, which is why I was when we had the last run there, I was just like, I need to run away as fast as possible and hope that I can outlast them running me down. And yeah, I don't know if I don't know if Alan ended up hitting the wall or something, but he seemed to lose too much pace for it to be just the tires going off. So I assume he brushed the wall and lost pace.
He had a lap car there also, and lap cars getting in the wrong point. I can ask with my next follow-up question. I mean, how valuable is an Allies clean air?
It's the best. It's your best friend on this track.
Yeah.
I think it was with 10 to go or 15 to go that I came upon a lapped car, and I think it took me two laps to finally get the ability to pass him. It's just the dirty air just destroys you.
Yeah, I think Alan might have had a little bit of column A, a little column B. He might have hit the wall, but I definitely think that lap car was the dirty air was awful for everybody. We didn't see a lot of people able to make much passing work. Uncle Rob did. We watched him do a lot of business on the high side. Julian did some business on the high side for a while. But when it came down to it, even when the tires start wearing out, you had to go to the low side to give yourself extra room on corner exit. But man, great race for you guys and your team. We kind of called it in the booth. We kind of suspected that you guys were splitting the strategy. Great call, great setup. Congratulations to all you guys. I'm sure you got some shout outs, and of course we do want you to give a holler out to our good buds at 4D.
Yeah, you bet. No, thanks to AJ for convincing me to jump in, because I wasn't sure I was going to jump into this one, but he said, yeah, we should do it. So we did. So AJ Musselman and 510 Esports, good team. And I mean, Jim over at 4D Racewear, I mean, ongoing sponsor for the broadcasts and for the various leagues and for the car itself. So I mean, bless him for all he does for us.
Well, congratulations on the win. It's been a while since we had you for an actual win here, so we've broken that seal once more. Hope to see you up here for many more, but I know you got another race to get off to, so we'll let you go. But congratulations, and we hope to see you possibly again. We know you're really good at Pocono, so I hope to see you again in 2 weeks in Pocono. But definitely next week, if you decide to hit the home track at Montreal, to give it a shot with us next week.
Sadly, I'm on vacation the next 2 weeks. So
season done for Craig.
This was come in, get a win, leave.
I forget what the Roman Reigns T-shirt was like used to say, but it was like show up and win. I think that's what it was. So that's exactly what he did. Craig calls a shot, final shot of the year. He's done, but we will see him surely on other Race First broadcasts. Congratulations, and we'll catch you in the future.
You betcha. Thanks, Gary. Stay safe.
Yeah. All right. Well, I would suspect Julian would be here, but I think he might want to get off to his other event, and figured that maybe we would get Alan in here, but he has not showed up either. So that is it really for us, Antonio. You kind of hit it on the head a little bit earlier. It could have been, we were kind of expecting, we saw the names in the lineup, and we're like, okay, this could be entertaining, and it really didn't turn out to be that bad.
No, it turned out to be a great race. I mean, I am typically a little, wary of Nashville. It's going to be like, oh man, it's going to be a procession. But it wasn't. It really wasn't. We had different strategies, comers and goers, folks that were having to really, really wrestle their car after a longer stint. I know I've been there in having 0%, tire tread left. That's Fabian there was letting us know in chat. And, the idea was never to call anybody out. It's just like, hey, call that we are hitting earlier. But, anyway, we've all been there. And, the race itself, really good. And again, folks catching some other folks. A lot of side-by-side racing, especially at the beginning of a run. But then we also saw, those diamond and cutting ins that Linux did, that, Altina going through the outside on some of the other folks. Pretty entertaining race, and Craig Forsett with the biggest mic drop, like, hey, I'm here, haven't been here in a long time, and that's it, I'm done. It's like the biggest mic drop that I can see.
And I'm laughing at Rob in the chat. He says he likes the Uncle Rob, so I'm glad that works. We're trying to give nicknames out there, and if it sticks and it works, we'll definitely roll with it. But okay, so next week, Montreal. We talked about a lot of people liking that road course. I actually kind of like the road course, to be honest with you. I know it's a fan favorite of everyone else's. What do you think? I mean, what are you looking for next week? Hopefully a bigger field, first of all, but I mean, second of all, I'm expecting a pretty good race there at Montreal. A lot of people race that on a variety of other cars on the surface, not just IndyCar. So it's a track well-known, let's put it that way, well-versed.
It is one of the favorites of the community as a whole of iRacing, and not quite on the level of a Spa or a Monza, but it is really there, or at least very, very close. I think it's a great place. It's kind of like a hybrid of a street circuit and a permanent circuit. Has some really iconic corners, the Wall of Champions, and some places where you really, and the car setup is going to be super, super important as well. There are some really fast corners that you're going to need to make sure that, the bars are set up in the way that you need them to, that the wing angle that you're going to have for the entire race is going to help you either with drag or with a little less drag if you want to, change that for a little bit more top speed down the straightaways. There are going to be a lot of viable strategies there. Yeah. And I think it's going to make for a very, very interesting race for us to call. And looking forward to it.
Just keep it off the wall of champions. Well, folks, that is it for today. Once again, your podium from Nashville. Friend of the program, fellow 4D sponsor, mate, Craig Forsyth with the win there for 510 Esports. Splitting strategies there, getting the win. Alan Boutreau helping himself in his top 10 standings in the points in the Open Points Championship. Finishes second, and Julian shows up, gets a podium. Just like Craig, just kind of shows up, wins, shows up, gets a podium. No big deal. Walks away. He's P3 for the day. And that is, I think we had a good race. So join Antonio and myself again next week for round 10. The Saturday IndyCar Open Series top split of Season 1 in 2024 as the series moves north of the border to one of everyone's favorite road courses, Montreal. Coverage begins right around 1 p.m. Eastern. That's 1 p.m. Eastern, as always. You can find everything right here on YouTube at youtube.com/racefirst. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy and require time and money to produce. Because of your generosity and donations, we've been able to bring you many races of the IndyCar Open Series nearly commercial free. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the 4D RACEWEAR Saturday IndyCar Open Series top split, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2024 broadcast fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution is greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching and making us part of your Saturday afternoons each and every week. Now, as you know, we try to play the algorithm game here on YouTube. It's not easy. So the biggest thing you can help us do is, with the weekly grind, is leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of today's race. And if you enjoyed today's coverage, hey, click like, and that helps the algorithm. If you're new, the best thing to help the algorithm is just click subscribe. And I got to hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out more race versus other iRacing programming. And we got lots of it. Tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m., VOR IndyCar DW12 IndyCar Series. Then Wednesday, IndyCar Oval Series top split. Then starting Thursdays here soon, the Formula Indy Series returns. Then back again here next Saturday. So just keep it here, ring the bell, and you won't miss out on anything. Keep your browser set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing. Race first, we know what Indy means. Race first Saturday, IndyCar Open Top Split naming rights are paid for by 4D RACEWEAR. Check out their made-for sim racing line of gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4DRacewear.com, and you too can race just like Craig Forsyth. For business inquiries and lower race first and what we do, visit racefirst.com, like us on Twitter, or follow us on Facebook. You can follow all of our contacts right here, sliding in at the bottom of the screen. There it is. And add us right now. So for Antonio Estrada, everyone at Race First, I'm Gary Gotzo saying all good night. Thanks for watching to all our men and women serving in the military and as first responders. Godspeed, God bless. Come on, safe. Catch us again right here next week in Montreal for the next race of the 4D RACEWEAR. Saturday, IndyCar Open Series top split. Good night, folks.